O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
When presenting an award to an employee, athlete, executive, or fantasy GM, make sure you call Orvieto's Awards and More. For 35 years, these custom award specialists have been providing plaques, trophies, custom framing, while providing state-of-the-art laser and computerized engraving, UV printing, and glass crystal etching. They do all their engraving and printing in-house for quality control. Call Charles at 305-949-8098 or visit them at orvietosawards.com. Orvieto's Awards and More, where recognition is rewarding.
Oh, Sam, not again.
Initiating Daddy's back.
Go!
Set the rhythm of your smart home with Sloman Shield Blink, the new integrated smart home platform that automates your life just the way you want it. Sloman Shield Blink, be the maestro of your own home.
For over 16 years, EJDconstruction.com has provided South Florida residents quality craftsmanship, accurate project management, and exceptional service. That's why EJDconstruction.com is an A-rated member of Angie's List and the Better Business Bureau. When you're looking for the right custom home builder for additions or home remodeling, please call my friend Eric at 305-433-4843. That's 305-433-4843 for EJDconstruction.com.
It starts every morning before the sun comes up. Projects are laid out. Plans are made. Equipment is fueled and loaded with inventory to handle all service requests. Orders are given to an army of skilled landscape maintenance professionals, certified arbor trimmers, irrigation technicians, and licensed pest management experts who fan out to communities and businesses all over South Florida. Experienced, on time, and dependable. Our staff is fully trained, licensed, and insured. Contact us by phone, email, social media, or through our website to answer all your landscape questions. We are Cutter's Edge. Total Landscape Solutions.
When it comes to your smile, confidence is so important. At Moody S Dental, they provide the services to get your smile back. This family-run practice prides itself by offering the latest technology to give your family the best experience possible. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years with offices in Hialeah and Plantation. They accept most major dental insurances. They provide free new patient exams, 20% off select treatments. To qualify, please follow us on Instagram at moodys.dental. Moody S Dental has been in business for over 30 years. To schedule an appointment in Hialeah, call 305-821-0231 and Plantation 954-692-6825. From Invisaligns, dental implants, same-day crowns, and the preventative care and preservation to get your smile back. Go to moodysdental.com to find out more and tell them Big O sent you.
There's just one place to celebrate a happy new model year. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Take $10,000 off a 2025 MDX at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
Hi, this is Jeff Welt from Welton Rayom. Dan and I have been in business together for over 22 years. We're not your typical lawyers. When Dan's not working in the office, he's flying his stunt plane. When I'm not in the office, I'm either getting tattooed, bowling, riding a motorcycle, or going to concerts. We might not be your typical attorneys, but we are aggressive attorneys, and we'll do whatever it takes to get you what you deserve. Consultations are always free. Call us anytime, 24/7.
Welton Rayom can help.
The Sultan's choice for excitement and a caravan of savings awaits at Toyota of Hollywood. Your wish for savings has been granted with discounts of up to $4,500. Take a magic carpet ride in a Toyota Corolla, not $24,000, $19,988. Step into our Grand Bazaar where you'll find epic savings at the #1 volume Toyota dealer, Toyota of Hollywood, on 441 between Hollywood Boulevard and Sheridan Street. Open till midnight.
After 40 years, the Big Cheese Miami is still producing great Italian food. They started in 1984. Since then, they've been winning awards while being voted the best inexpensive Italian restaurant in Miami. Visit them for great food, amazing service. Witness the decades of Cane's memories. The walls are like a Miami Hurricanes Hall of Fame. The Big Cheese delivers anything on its menu or party platter menu to your home, office, or even a park for a picnic. Located at 8080 Southwest 67th Avenue, Miami. Call 305-662-6855. TheBigCheeseMiami.com, where they serve large portions at family prices.
There's just one place to celebrate a happy new model year. Acura of Pembroke Pines. Drive away in a new ZDX. Only $459 a month at Acura of Pembroke Pines, the #1 volume Acura dealer.
If you're looking to take your home or business to the next level, then RM Contractors can assist you. RM specializes in new residential turnkey, new commercial turnkey, home and office remodeling. Call them for free estimates. Serving all of South Florida, licensed and insured. Call Ray, 305-345-3649. You work hard to create the perfect atmosphere. You dream it, we'll build it. RM Contractors, 305-345-3649. Or Instagram at RMC Fisher Island.
The viewpoint statements or beliefs expressed on the following program by the host, guests, or callers are not necessarily the opinions of FantasyAccess.com, Media Group Inc. ownership, management, sponsors, or website. Miami Dolphins fans, time to rock out with another Dolphins pregame show. Big O and the boys are ready to give you the latest information, injury news, gambling insight as we get ready for kickoff. The pregame show is brought to you by Welton Rayom, Toyota of Hollywood, Acura of Pembroke Pines, Hialeah Park Casino, RM Contractors. The broadcast is mastered by executive producer Sean Stanley. Here's your host, the Big O, Orlando Alzugari.
All right. Good morning, one and all, as we get ready for a little Dolphins and Panthers. Got some stuff to talk about. We'll get the inactives for you. Got some parlays. You guys been hitting me up every week we haven't hit on one, by the way. So just in case, because those things are hard. But you've hit me the last couple of weeks, so I've got a three play parlay, and I got a 6 one. So I went a little crazy on 2 of them. So we'll talk about that on the show. Last night, congratulations to the Canes. If you didn't watch our post-game show, please, what's wrong with you? Go watch the post-game show. Hit the like button on it. Watch it there. Okay? Support the platform. We had Manny Navarro on, broke it down. The good, the bad, the ugly, everything, but they got the win, which is the most important thing. So that's all that counts. So they'll enjoy the week off, and they'll take on Louisville. Fort Lauderdale United played to a 0-0 draw to Tampa Bay Sun. Inter Miami dominated New England 4-1. Miami FC beat the Pittsburgh Riverhounds 3-1. So that's what happened last night in South Florida sports. Regular season sports. I know there's preseason stuff going on. Panthers fighting with Tampa Bay and the Heat and the Magic. But, it's all preseason stuff. That's all silliness right now. When they get to the regular season, that's the stuff that starts to – well, I don't know. In basketball, does it really count in the beginning of the season? Well, anyways, that's a whole other conversation. Anyway, we are here now to talk a little Dolphins and Panthers, of course. Go over what went on last night in South Florida sports. And, of course,
Do want to say new Bitcoin high last night, 125,542. So brand new Bitcoin high. Let's see if they end up passing it today. We'll see what ends up happening, of course. So appreciate all of you for tuning in. As always, we thank All Year Cooling, one of our proud sponsors of our program. Over 350,000 satisfied customers, same-day service and installs. Call them, 888-204-5554, from Homestead all the way to Vero Beach. And they've got offices now in Naples, too. So make sure you call All Year Cooling, number one when it comes to AC and plumbing in the state of Florida. All Year Cooling and Plumbing. Extended warranties, financing available. They've been at it for 52 years, and we appreciate them also, of course. All right. Remember, you can support the show in many ways. You're watching or listening. We thank you. Please hit the like button. That is very, very important right now. So as you're watching, please smash the hell out of the like button. Of course, you can make a donation to the show. We have the super chats, but YouTube takes 30%. We only get 70%. But that's why we encourage Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation, as always, there too. At the same time, we appreciate that. All right. Post-game, we'll be back. We'll have David Furones. We'll have Chris Perkins joining us on the program. So we'll have a little fun with those guys fresh from the locker room. We'll see what happens there. Mark Sanchez. What happened there, bro? Mark Sanchez. Damn. It's I was tripping out because I'm watching online and on social media, and his colleagues are like, oh, I feel so bad for Mark. He's, such a nice guy and all that. And I'm like, hold on a second. This guy was intoxicated, attacked the dude, and got stabbed for it. Doesn't sound to me like a nice guy. Sounds like an asshole that can't hold his alcohol. Like, he's the criminal here. He's the one charged with misdemeanors. Maybe because he's Mark Sanchez. I don't know. But from the butt fumble to the drunk butthole, is that what we're doing? Because, wow. Like, dude, you're there to call an NFL game and you're getting in a fight with a food delivery driver about a parking spot or something? Or like, what the hell is going on? Like Mark Sanchez is the bad guy here. These people are acting like he's the innocent guy here. And it's like, yo, I'm watching this on social media last night. It's like, yeah, I get it, bro. He's your colleague, but yeah, not good. Anyway. By the way, today, one of the things that we are going to be dealing with post Tyreek is how are the Miami Dolphins moving forward and who's going to lead them? And one of the things I asked this week was a question of, will Jalen Waddle, and we talked about this on the postgame show immediately last week. And so I wanted to have a poll question just to see what the vibe was from fans. And the question was for Miami Dolphin fans, will Jalen Waddle be Jimmy Butler, a number one franchise-type player, or Bam Adebayo, a very good player, a super role player? Like what I've given Bam is he's a super role player, okay? Hell of a player. He's a very good player, but he's not a franchise player. He's not a number one. He's not even a number two, okay? He's like a number three at best. At best. He's a number three. So Jalen Waddle needs to be a number one. He's being paid to be a number one. He doesn't have to be a number one right now because Tyreek Hill was here. And Tyreek Hill had the mantle of being the number one guy. And so we're going to find out if Jalen Waddle can raise his level of play. And that's going to be very important today if Jalen's going to take, because Jalen in his rookie year, he did a great job as a possession receiver. But we haven't ever put him in the role where he's got to be a number one. And a number one, folks, let me explain to you what a number one wide receiver is. A number one wide receiver plays at all three levels. He can get a pass from the line of scrimmage and behind the line of scrimmage and make a play. He can make a play in the middle of the field, and he can blow the top off the defense. That's what a number one wide receiver is. Number one wide receiver is a guy that can play on every level. Possession guy is not a deep guy. He's a guy that plays intermediate, right? Because he doesn't have that next level. Well, Jalen has the talent. The question is, does he have the cojones? Like, Bam Adebayo has all the talent in the world to be a number one. He has the stroke. He has the athletic movement. He's not mechanical. He has it, like, blessed, the ability, but he's not blessed with the burning desire to be that guy. He's super passive. And Jalen Waddle is a very nice young man, as you all have seen. Is he too nice? We know Tyreek can be mean. I mean, he can, allegedly break an IG model's leg. I mean, so things can get a little ugly. You got to have an edge. Not to that extreme. But you got to bring an edge. Okay? I mean, look, Tyreek's kid brings an edge. He burns houses down. That's an edge. Not the kind of edge you really want, okay? Just want to say. So there's an example having an edge, and then there's too much edge. Just saying. So, Waddle, we need you to find the edge, not the extreme one. Okay? Not the extreme one. We want you breaking DB's ankles, not IG's knees. All right? Just saying. I'm just saying. Just making a point here, okay? What we need from Waddle. So it's time to turn it up or get turned up, however you want to phrase it, okay? Good morning. By the way, we have the inactives. Jalen Wright. It's going to lead me to a story. Quinn Ewers is your emergency third quarterback. Did everybody scramble to go interview Quinn Ewers this week? Nah. Anyway, Cedric Wilson, as we know, he was already injured as it is. Storm Duck, whack, and Zeke Biggers. Now, this leads me to something that I am going to piggyback on from last year. Because, of course, most of the stuff I do is never hindsight. I usually talk about it ahead of time, and then it either happens or whatever, and we talk about it, right? So here's an issue that we have now. Okay? And Jalen Wright brings up an issue for me that I have a concern. And I talked about it throughout the week, and I talked about it in the postgame show. This shit where you're now going to overload Achane. You don't have Tyreek on the field. And the only other proven big play guy outside of Tyreek on a consistent basis, even more than Tyreek, is Devon Achane, correct? Devon Achane makes plays like every week, no matter how bad the team is or whatever. We all look around and go, well, dude, at least Devon played well. Shit, Devon played well. Yeah, the team sucked today. They lost. Man, Devon played well, right? We do this all the time. Devon plays well. Awesome. He's 190 pounds, soaking wet. He's not a power back. This stuff about running him between the tackles, and now look, I see Jalen Wright is inactive. What the did you draft him for then? You You need to have more backs on this team. You got to give Ollie, and whether it's Wilson or Wright or so, you've got to get another body involved in here. And I'm not talking about Alec Ingold because that's like a short yardage situation at best for him. And don't run him out for a stupid pattern 15, 20 yards downfield in the middle and trying for him to be more athletic than a DB to get a ball. What kind of dumb crap is that? And this is one thing I am concerned about. I was concerned about it last year. I thought they overused Devon Achane. You get intoxicated because his talent is supreme. You get in desperation because you constantly need the plays. You need the yards. You need the playmaker, because it's what I started the conversation with. The most consistent playmaker you have, his name is Devon Achane. And now I'm terrified that without Tyreek Hill and an ignorant head coach, that he is going to overuse this man. And last week, Ollie didn't get enough. So it's just like, I don't get it. I don't get it. And so I'm going to be interested to see what happens today. And I just hope that, I know Achane's going to play great because that's what he does more often than not, and he's going to be fantastic. But you've got to take care of the player from himself and stop running him over and over between the tackles. My God, he's not made for that. I've used the example several times, haven't I, already in the last week and a half? Right? Reggie Bush, the late, Sperano. Like, please, man, come on. He used Reggie Bush like a running back instead of taking advantage and get him in space and throw it to him where you would have gotten more yards. You would have gotten more field, more offense, produced by using Reggie Bush as a receiver than a running back. And I know, and Reggie was like, he was focused on proving to people that he can be a running back. And that's nice. He did it for 15 of the 16 games, and he broke down in the 16th game, why? Because your body's not built for that, dude. You're not that guy. And that's all right. There's nothing wrong with that. You cannot be the 15, 20, 25 carry guy. You're more of the 10 to 15 carry guy, and so is Achane. He's not the 15 to 20, 20 to 5 carry guy. So when I'm seeing 19 carries, it's way too much. Way too much. And why? Because you're not good enough as a coach. You're not good enough to design everything, to get other people involved, to create plays for them and create them in space. Use him more as a decoy at times so he gets less wear and tear. And you can, you have a longer shelf life with him. Because I'd like to keep Devon Achane around for the second contract. I don't know about the third one, unless that's a discounted rate and all that. But if he's he's a terrific kid, obviously, he's been a steal of a pick, preserve him. Okay? Just because you're desperate and you've got nothing else, don't wear his ass out and sacrifice the future for very little returns in the present. So I'm going to be very interested to see how they use the running game today and who gets involved and how they use Achane. And I really worry. I'm concerned. I am. I just hope that they take care of them. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation. Ray, thank you, my brother, on Venmo. Says happy football and crypto Sunday. He's smoking a cigar. Great win last night with our Canes. We all know what they need to fix. Hope our coach can call a good game today, and let's go Bitcoin. and he's got a Jalen Waddle Dolphins win video there. It's pretty good that Venmo is allowing people to add, like, things with their messages and stuff like that. That's pretty cool. That's very, very cool. And thank you, Ray. Appreciate you. Thank you for your generosity. Bitcoin, by the way, right now is at 122,780 right now. Pat in Asheville just sent me a picture of the stadium. He's sitting on the 50-yard line. Lucky bastard. That's awesome. Good for you, Pat. You're the best. And by the way, I saw the Carolina Fins account on Twitter X. Let me see it here. So make sure I call it out right. Charlotte Dolphins Club. It's CLT_Dolphins Club. And man, the amount of Dolphins that are out there and the get-togethers and all that. Let me tell you something. Our team sucks, but our fan base is first class. Our fan base is awesome, dude. They show up all over the place. They show up to road games, and the team does not deserve any of these fans. None of them. By the way, speaking of the best fan out there, let me see where we at out here. Here we go. Big E Strong, baby. Make sure you get your bracelets and support our guy Ian. Big E is going through a rough one. He still has not gotten his transplant yet, and he's got a lot of medical bills. So get your Big E Strong bracelets, all right, and support Big E in his battle. We're going to help him win this damn battle, all right? All right, so hang in there, Big E. We're with you, my brother. After the game, David Furones will join us with our Welt and Rayom Miami Dolphins post-game report. So we'll have a little fun with David, and we'll talk about hopefully a win. I'm hoping to. Let me give you my first parlay. Okay. And this one's a plus 1,500 parlay on the Hialeah Park Hard Rock app. As you go through the Hialeah Park, you can get the Hard Rock app, or maybe you already have the Hard Rock app. They work together. It's all the same stuff. But anyway, I did a 3-bet parlay, plus 1,500, over 39.5 yards for Darren Waller. No Tyreek. Waller proved that he can catch some balls, take advantage of it. I think Tua will use him a little bit more this week. So on this one, I went a little bit more risky, and I need him to get 40 yards receiving. But I figure if he catches 3 balls, he'll get to 40 yards. And I think this week they will use him more, obviously, without Tyreek there. They will have to, we're going to see how they attack, because they're not going to double Waddle like they do with Tyreek. There's not going to be a bracket. Waddle's going to have to force them to do that. And so Waller will be a guy that will also attract some attention. But because he's a big target, somebody's been talking about big targets for Tua for years, but whatever. Anyways, since he's a big target, I think Tua will use him, actually. And since he caught that difficult ball in the back end of the end zone, usually quarterbacks, once you come through for them, they start to, depend on you. So I think Waller may get over 40 yards in this one. Rico Dowdle. I know you're not going to like this, but I'm betting with money. Okay. Miami cannot stop the run. Chuba is out. So Rico is going to get the carries. And right now, the over and under, I went with over 79.5 yards. I think he can get 80 yards on the Dolphins. Unfortunately, the guys haven't figured stuff out. If they do, then, hey, don't win the parlay. It is what it is. And then I've got an anytime touchdown for Darren Waller. Okay, I don't know about 2. That would be fantastic. But, but I can see him catching a touchdown in this one because, again, I think they're going to depend on him. They need to. It's Waddle and Waller now, and then we'll see what Malik does. We're going to see what some of the other guys do now. We know Achan's going to be a part of it and be a receiver. So I'm going to go with an anytime touchdown. That is plus 1,500. Okay. Now, as for the wise guy picks, and I messed up again that I didn't get Steve on Friday, but I promise I'm going to get it right this Friday. And let me give you the wise guy picks that he's going with this week. All right. Cowboys. Oh, damn it. Cowboys minus 2.5 versus the Jets. He likes Seattle over the Bucks, 3.5. He likes the Lions minus 10.5 versus the Bengals. And then he gives a bonus picks. Chargers over the Commanders, all right, plus 3. And the Lions over the Niners. The Lions over, 49.5. Sorry, not 49ers. Lions over 49.5. Those are the wise guy picks of the week. All right. Wise guy had a very good season last year. He's hovering a little bit above 500 right now, barely over 500. He hasn't been red hot yet. He hasn't gotten on the roll. So we'll see if he starts to get on the roll there. So there you go. All right. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. And, of course, David Furones will join us for our Welt and Rayom Miami Dolphins report. And don't forget Jeff Welt and Daniel Rayom. They're here in Hollywood, but they have taken care of listeners of ours all throughout Florida, West Coast, East Coast, Treasure Coast, all that. Bankruptcy, homeowner property damage, condo damage, criminal defense, business owner claims, commercial litigation, personal injury. If any of those issues you're dealing with, reach out to Jeff Welt and Daniel Rayom. The consultation is free. You explain your situation. They will tell you if you have a case, and they'll take care of it. If you have any damage to your property or business or something like that, don't call the insurance company. No. You call them first. They send their adjusters, and then they call the insurance company on your behalf, because the insurance company, they're going to take advantage of you. You and I don't know all the laws and the loopholes, so they'll take advantage of us. Lawyers, they can't. Lawyers know all the loopholes, so that's why they have their own adjusters already. So they assess all the damage, and then they know that the insurance company can't bullshit them. You and I, they can bullshit us all the time. Call Jeff Welt and Daniel Rayom. They are the best tackles in the business for you. 954-966-4646. George Metella says at USC, Reggie Bush had a power back partner in Len Whale White. I remember the Len Whale. If that was the setup in college, then in the NFL, which is much more physical, a player like Bush and Achan need a power back even more. I'm with you, bro. I remember Len Whale. He had a lot of talent. He ate himself out of the league. Yep. Tennessee Titans, I believe, are the ones that drafted Len Whale. Yep, I remember that. Brett says, would you like to see the Finns use Achan in the slot? Yes. Get him out in the open. Yes. Swing him out of the backfield and toss it out to him and wheel route or something. Yes, definitely. For sure. Yes. Now that you don't have Tyreek, use Waddle on one side, Achan on the other, and deal with it. And Achan can catch passes downfield. But what I love is now you've got a big body for him. Westbrook needs to get involved in this offense. That's the other big body that you've got to get involved. There's a guy that can help you move the chains. I can't stand that Mike McDaniel, we're 5 weeks into a season, and he hasn't figured out how to use this guy. And if I'm the front office, this is where I'm going down every single day, bitch slapping this guy and going, what the hell are you doing? It's like the whole thing with Gesicki. Like you pay him $11 million and the idiot doesn't even know how to use him. And these are the things that just piss me off about him, because it makes you saw what happened last week. Tua looked better. Why? Well, hold on a second. You didn't drop him back every single time. No, you moved the pocket around. You change the launch point. Wow. What a concept. You added a big body to the offense. Wow, what a concept. You dedicate yourself to the run. Oh, shit. Really? Never figured that shit out. No, let's just drop back and throw the ball 40 times. And let's just figure out throwing to the same guy all the time. No, you gotta mix it up. You gotta find a way to change things up. And you've got to change it up for the quarterback too. It's got to be a 3-step drop now, a 5-step drop. No, it's got to be a boot. It's got to be a waggle. You got to mix things up. They can't know that he's going to be at the same spot every single time. But this moron never figures this out. This is a really stupid coach, a really ignorant coach, and it takes him forever to figure stuff out. And then even when he does it, sometimes it might seem like accident because he doesn't continue to do it. And so he's a detriment to his quarterback. He's a detriment to his offense. He's a detriment to his defense. All of these things. Your defense is not very good, so let's just keep having 3 and outs. Let's not dedicate ourselves to the run because it protects our quarterback. Offensive linemen are much happier run blocking than pass blocking, and your defense is sitting on the sidelines a little bit longer and resting. Wow, what a concept. But no, of course not. And then this is why I mentioned the whole Achane thing, because now that Tyreek is not here, he's a drug, and you want to keep using the drug. But you can't, dude. You got to show restraint, because if not, that kid's going to break down. You can only take so much punishment in this league. So you got to make sure you take care of that kid. And he has done a piss poor job in that area. I think he's been very lucky that Achane is a super durable dude. So, what do we have here? McDaniel thinks he can make Achane to a power back. Got to know your guys and know their limits. I totally agree, man, of 1,005 holds. Oscar Rojas, good morning to you, sir. I see Stephen Harris up there, number 1, and Jay Gelfin. Wade Wilson is here. Jeff in Long Island. Let's see. John Padilla, Ragin, Dolphins 66. FinFan 911 says Darren Waller anytime touchdown plus 300 easy money. What else? I hope so. I have them there. Lisa Rose, Brian Landis, Christian DiMartino, Basketball Jones, Strafasi. Thank you all out there. Jay Gatto, please smash the hell out of the like button. Okay? Por favor, please smash that like button. And remember, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin or Ethereum donation, which we always love that, and thank you. We are at 122,835. All right, so we talked about Waddle turning it up. We talked about the run game and Achane, right? Darren Waller, he's in our parlays. He's in our thoughts. He's in our discussions. Don't expect too much from Darren Waller, and here we are. He's played 1 out of 4 games, which, that's kind of what we were worried about, that he's unreliable, but the one game was magical. So was this real? Was it Memorex? Is this an aberration? Is this the norm? I don't know. This is what we need to find out. So, and we know, I know, everyone needs him. Okay? Tua needs him badly. The offense needs him badly because you need a tight end. You need 2 tight ends. Not one, but 2. Okay? And Julian Hill's developing into a second tight end right now. So you need this. The question is, can Darren Waller keep it up? Can he continue to be a playmaker? because last week he was a playmaker. Can he continue to be a threat? Because once you start being a playmaker, you are a threat. A threat then gets what? Garners attention. So all of a sudden now you can't put 8 in the box, and just say, or you can't just work the middle. Now you got to start worrying about the safety. The safety's got to start worrying about the big ass tight end. So that starts to open up the defense a little bit more and loosening things up for the running game, loosening things up for Waddle, those kind of things. So the threat from playmaker to threat, and then the one thing that he hasn't been for years, not in his rap career, not in his marriage, and not as a player, consistent. Although maybe in the rap he was consistently bad, so that kind of worked. But on the other ones, he wasn't consistent enough to be a husband, and he hasn't been consistent enough to be a professional football player. So last week, he teased us. But remember, don't lose sight. This is not his first game. This is his first out of 4. The guy was here from the beginning of training camp and got injured. And that's his story. That's who he is. So be careful. That's not like something freakish. No, that's something normal. So that's the question that we all have to find out from Darren Waller. Darren Waller obviously needs money. That's why he's doing this. He's not a successful rapper. He failed as a husband now, so I doubt he has to pay her because she probably is now making more money than he does anyway. Kelsey Plum, she probably makes money off the court and on the court. No, on the court she doesn't make a ton of money, but off the court she probably makes some money because she's a character herself. So I wouldn't be surprised if she's making some cash. So he's lucky that he doesn't have to probably pay her and support her. I don't know. I don't know what the ins and outs are. But clearly he's going to need money. And he's 33. This window's over. And if you're the Dolphins, you run him into the ground this year. There's no future. He's 33, dude. So you can run him into the ground, not like Achane. See, Achane, I want you to preserve because I know you're not really going anywhere this year. So please preserve the guy. I get you got to use him. I understand, but not overuse him. But Darren Waller, well, we'll find out. We're going to find out. Can he be a playmaker? Can he consistently be a threat? And can he be consistent, period? Stay on the field, stay healthy, be a productive player. Don't get in any kind of issues and those kind of things. That's the test right now for Darren Waller, to find out if he can actually be a professional for once in his life on a full-time basis. And he really has no choice. Nobody was giving him another chance. He was done. And if it wasn't for Frank Smith, it's over. So this is his one and final chance to kind of redeem some glory out of his career. And if you're the Dolphins, hey, man, you desperately need it. Milk it for now. Milk it. And hopefully Julian Hill learns a thing or two because Darren Waller can play the game. None of us can deny that. He has all the other issues that stop him from that. But that doesn't seem like Julian Hill has those issues off the field and all that kind of stuff. He looks like a hardworking kid. He hasn't been consistent. Although this year, to his credit, Julian Hill has been much more consistent than he was the year before. Okay? So very interesting to see if he can actually do it. I am intrigued. All right. What else do we have? What up, Big O? Waiting on you. Diplomat Steakhouse. Okay. Diplomat Steakhouse. Interesting. Never been there. Diplomat Steakhouse. Send me a DM. I love a good steak. Alcoholic. Stay in your lane. True, you smell like crap. I don't know why Costa, what was that? Is this part of another conversation you're having with somebody else or something? Oh, True Fin fan going back to coast. Okay. You guys are going back and forth. I see. Jamie Zorria says, good morning. Oh, Fins Nation from San Jose, California. Hope everybody is enjoying their weekend. Of course, Bitcoin all-time high. The Canes beat FSU. I mean, can't complain, my brother. It is a great weekend. Now we need the Dolphins to win this damn game. Don't lose this game, dude. Don't lose to this sorry-ass team. I mean, come on. I know our Dolphins aren't great, but don't lose to this team. You got to find a way to win this damn game. So, Browns lead in the fourth quarter, 17-14. It's awesome. How has what? I don't even know how has Dylan Gabriel even played. By the way, since I don't hide it at all, I am rooting for Shedeur Sanders in a big time way. So yeah, 17-14. Vikings. By the way, Carson got injured, right? I think, but he can't fix Carson either. So he can fix everybody else. Everybody else plays well, but Carson Wentz is the one that he hasn't been able to reach. Dylan Gabriel, 16 of 26, 135 yards, 5.2 yards per play, 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. The Quinshawn Jenkins kid, 19 rushes, 96 yards. He's averaging 5 yards a carry. They have rushed the ball 25 times for 125 yards, 4.5 yards a carry. Yeah, it's kind of like, important to run the ball. They get that part. And Njoku from the Canes, by the way, 5 for 56, a tight end important for a quarterback, right? Yeah. 5 for 56 and a touchdown. Jerome Ford, 2 for 20. Okay. All right. Not big receiving numbers right now from the Browns. Jenkins had 1 for 18. But again, he's only got 135 yards passing, so it's kind of modest numbers. That's why it's 17-14. But Browns looking for their second win. The Vikings just aren't the same without a decent quarterback. That changes everything. Hey, Flo can't stop Dylan Gabriel. Just checking. Okay. Just saying. The greatest coach since sliced bread. And Dylan Gabriel's getting the best of him. Just saying. It's kind of odd. Find it kind of odd. Let's see. Ray says, brother, what makes sense in a flex position? Darren Waller or Devonta Smith? Devonta Smith is playing against Denver's defense. Even though you have Waddle starting at wide receiver, I'm leaning towards Waller, but I have Waddle playing. Wow. And because of AJ, because of the run game, because, I'm going to go Waller because I think for sure you'll get a touchdown out of Waller. You know what I'm saying? So, in a flex position, because that means you already have another guy there in your starter. Yeah, I'm going to go Waller over Devonta Smith. I like that. Denver's got a decent defense. It's not going to be a high-scoring game. They like to run the ball more than anything else. The whole AJ thing is kind of weird, and maybe this week they want to throw it to him. Devonta Smith is kind of a wild card. He's a good player, but because the way that offense is designed and because of the desperation of the Dolphins, outside of Waddle and Achane, Waller's the next guy. And he's the biggest and most obvious target for dude. Yeah, Ray. Yeah, I'm gonna go Waller over Devonta Smith on that one. All right. So there you go, my brother. Good luck to you. Hope you get it done there and win. Appreciate you all out there. Remember, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show, Cash App or Venmo. And we'll be back in the post game, by the way. David Furones and Chris Perkins, fresh from the locker rooms, will be joining us, and we'll talk to them. McDaniel's too concerned about saving his job than worry about the health of Achane and others. Everything is on the table for him. I I don't think it has anything to do with that. I just think he's just dumb. I don't think it has anything to do that he's thinking about saving his job. I think he's just not a smart coach because his job wasn't on the line last year when he was overusing Achane. And I was here every week saying, stop overusing Achane. I was terrified the last month of the season when it was a useless month, no matter what any of you thought, and they were overusing Achane. So I differ with you, sir. I think McDaniel's just dumb. He has intelligence in the way he can design some amazing plays, but he has no intelligence or logic in the way he implements anything whatsoever. And that's a problem. That's a huge problem. Anthony Kyle Campos, thank you for the love on the super chat. Says, Big O, at Spain, are you going to have tapas and paella with Mike McDaniel? Does Jimmy Johnson make the cut? LOL. Guys, no food fights. I am looking forward to the Madrid trip. That's the only trip we're making this year. Going to Madrid and looking forward to it. It's going to be a lot of fun, man. Going to be a lot of fun and hopefully cover a couple of events and do a broadcast or two. All right, let's do this. Let me give you my crazy ass. I gave you my 3-bet parlay. Okay. Darren Waller over 39.5 yards. So I need 40. I need Rico Dowdle. Not that I need it, but it just looks like an obvious because Miami's so bad against the run. And I think that's something they'll give up. 79.5 rushing yards. I went to 80. And then an anytime touchdown with Darren Waller. That's my 3-bet parlay plus 1,500. Now, I went with something absolutely nuts, plus 7,500. It's a 6-bet parlay, okay? Julian Hill over 24.5 yards. He got 19 on one catch last week. I'm thinking he gets 2 catches, he can get me 25 yards. So I think because no Tyreek, you're going to use the tight ends more. And because you're going to focus a lot on Darren Waller, Julian Hill might become available. See, I'd like to see an offense where there's more 2 tight ends because that, to me, that would make Tua even more dangerous if you run the ball in 2 tight ends. And then I think Waddle becomes even more dangerous this way. If you start torturing them because Julian can block, and pound them and run them and then use the tight ends, then I think you can hit Waddle over the top at times. But what the hell do I know? Who gives a shit, right? I got Julian Hill also over 1.5 receptions. I think he's going to catch 2 balls today. For sure. Easy. I think he'll catch 3 today. A record 3 today. I moved my Rico Dowdle pick over 79.5 yards, 80. I really like that one, unfortunately. Anytime touchdown for Darren Waller, moved it over also. And then I've got Darren Waller over 49.5 yards. Remember, on the 3-bet parlay, I've got Waller over 39.5 yards. Here, I got him over 49.5 yards. So he's got to get 50 in this one for me to win. And then my 6th play is in the Tampa Bay game. Rashard or Ricard White, however you pronounce the kid's name, Bucky Irving is out, and he's like all world, man. God, that was a great pick by him. Like, you know how we love our HN, they love their Bucky over there. You know what I'm saying? And he is fantastic. But White is actually a really good player, and they're going to have to use him more. And they're not playing a great defense, so 64.5 yards over. I'm going White to get me 65 yards. So that is my 6-bet parlay there. Julian Hill over 24.5. Julian Hill over 1.5 receptions. Rico Dowdle over 79.5 rushing yards. Darren Waller anytime touchdown. Darren Waller over 49.5 yards. And Rashard, whatever it is, over 64.5 yards rushing for the Bucs. Pays plus 7,500. What the hell? You know I have no shot at winning either of the parlays, but you've been asking me for a 3 parlay pick every week. I figured I'd do that and then do one crazy ass one that I have no chance in winning, and then throw it out there. And if you want to throw $5 on that and ride it with me, and who knows, you win, we lose. Hey, listen, I'm not an investment expert. I'm not a financial expert. I'm not a betting expert. I'm just doing a show. That's it. Just a dude with a stupid opinion. That is me. So, Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo, and you can make a Bitcoin, Ethereum, Chainlink, or Solana donation. You can use the QR codes there as always. We appreciate you immensely. And don't forget to visit our friends at Catonswear. You can get hats like this, 10% off online. Big O10, you will get 10% off. In person, Big O10, you will get 10% off. And if you shop online, because they've got Dolphins, anything and everything with the Canes logo on it, Heat, Marlins, Panthers, Inter Miami gear. And if you order over $99, you'll get free shipping too. Jeff will have that shipped out right away. Okay, so Brett and the boys out there, Brett has grown Caneswear into a monster at 2655 South University Drive in Davie. So make sure you visit them and tell them that we sent you. They will definitely take care of you, man. Let's see. What else do we have? Justin Floyd says McDaniel has no street smarts. Probably not. Flores' defense can't stop the run. Well, I don't know, bro. I'm just saying he's just a genius. So, saying, can't stop Dylan Gabriel either. He's thrown 2 touchdowns. Every time Brian, the insubordinate Flores, appears on my TV, I flip him the bird till he disappears from my screen. That's a little risky to pick Julian Hill. Well, that's why it's plus 7,500. That's why it's called gambling, my brother. You know what I mean? So you never know. But if it happens, it'll be glorious. I sound like old school. Will Ferrell. It'll be glorious. All right, what else? True FinFan says, I've been saying it for a couple of years now. This team was built wrong for Tua. Double tight end threats, and Tua would kill defenses. Yeah, and run game. You run, double tight end. The receivers don't need to be so elite or anything, just decent receivers, and you'll be more than fine. But you gotta win from the middle, man. And they don't get that. And that's the part I just don't understand. Yes, Bonsai. You are correct. I did stay at a Holiday Inn. So these parlays might be rich. I'll tell you what. I'm going to buy me a nice chunk of Bitcoin tonight if that hits. That's for sure. Nice chunk of Bitcoin. It'll go all to Bitcoin if I win. All of it. So let's see what else. I love it. All right. Run Ollie featured back behind Mr. Paul and take Borum out right side and Jalen Phillips partial tear in his leg. Oh, Jalen Phillips playing with partial tear in his leg. Is that something that's out there or something? Because I don't know about that. Is that are they talking about that on the out there on the Twitter sphere? Is that what they're saying? The sad part is about Jalen Phillips is that all kidding aside, I don't even know if that's serious or not or just screwing around, but he has to prove that he can finally stay healthy this year because he has proven to be too injury prone. Unfortunately, he's a fantastic young man. Not one person will ever deny that the ability is there for him to be a hell of a player. But yeah, he's got to find a way to stay healthy, you know. Now, last year or the year before, when they played them and sent them back in there injured, they did that. That part was pretty disgusting on behalf of the Dolphins. That was very irresponsible on their part when they let them back in there. So, Todd Jones says, all the Floridians who moved to North Carolina are there. It does make a lot of sense. There are a lot of Floridians. There's a lot of people I know that have homes in North Carolina. That is very true, actually. That is very, very true. I think all of us that live here in Florida, especially in South Florida, we have a friend or a family member or a coworker or somebody that left for North Carolina. That is very true. That is, Todd is on to something there, you know, no doubt. It's North Carolina now in the last 20 years, 30 years has become the Keys of the 70s and the 80s for Cubans. In the 70s and the 80s, Cubans flocked to the Keys, bought trailers, bought condos and homes and all that and that kind of stuff. And it was just a thing in that culture of that community in the 70s and 80s that they would flock to the Keys. And you would have a lot of people going to the Keys. So now North Carolina has become the place that South Floridians flock to. You know, not Cubans. Now, that's just an example of the early days, something that I remember. Nowadays, it's just Floridians in general. They flock to North Carolina. They have over the last 20, 30 years. So Todd is 1,000% right on that. He's right. He's right. Oh, Kala Joe says, morning. Oh, just came in late this morning, but did you mention Bitcoin's new record? Yeah. Oh, yeah. We definitely. Yeah, definitely. 125,500, baby. Yes, sir. It's a beautiful thing. I never realized that Bitcoin sold in chunks. LOL, says Brett. Let's see. North Carolina is a massive market for the Marlins. That's why so many people move there. Okay. One of my closest friends from high school left to North Carolina 5 years ago. I'm telling you, a lot of us know people that moved to North Carolina. It's just it turned into a thing for a lot of Floridians. They kind of found out, hey, that's a pretty cool state. Maybe I can go out there, especially the western side of the state. It's actually very cool. The western side of the state, for me, is the better part of the state. From the middle to the west, I'd rather be than to the east. And there's some great places, especially by the coast. But because of the storms and all the other crap that comes with it, I'd rather be in. Although, damn, who expected all the crap that they got hit with 2 years ago? That was absolutely nuts. And by the way, still waiting for help too, unfortunately. 2 years later, and they're still waiting for help, which is absolutely brutal. What else we have there? Let's see. Cash App or Venmo at Cash Big O Show. That is Cash Big O Show. Cash App or Venmo. Christian DiMartino, sorry. Thank you for the Venmo. Oh, realistically, Washington can easily step in Tyreek's role, and he won't be a diva. I think Tua will play better without having to worry about feeding Tyreek the ball. Well, no and yes. There's no way Washington could ever fill Tyreek's shoes because he doesn't have the top-end speed to make the big-time plays that Tyreek does. Now, can he help in filling the void of catching balls and moving the chains? Yes, definitely. He can definitely help you in different ways and assist and be a complementary player to Jalen Waddle. And believe it or not, if Waller can actually stay on the field, he will become a bigger focal point of it than Malik will. Now, this is a great opportunity for Malik to prove that he's a great slot receiver and a tough one and a guy that can consistently move the chains. Miami really Waddle did that his first year. He was outstanding as a possession receiver. Not what you drafted him for, not where you're paying him to be, but that's what you need Malik to be, because he doesn't have the top end speed to do what Tyreek does. But he does have the ability to help the offense be way more productive and move the ball along. So that's where I'm hoping that we can get from Malik. It would be pretty cool. Steven has got a 30-14 Dolphins. Jeff has Dolphins 23, Panthers 17. True FinFan says, my brother left to Asheville. Great city. Great city. Asheville is not just a great city in North Carolina. It's one of the great cities in the country, period. 4 years ago. And whatever, I lost it there. And bought a house. He could stand it there. He couldn't stand it there and is back in Miami. Really? Wow. Well, that happens, dude. That happens. You can move to places that you're not used to or you can't get used to, and you're used to life one way, and so you don't adjust. So, yeah, that happens. That happens. I can see that. I can understand that. I do have the Dolphins winning today, by the way. I mean, if they don't win this game, you might as well wrap it up. I mean, the season, really, you're not going anywhere anyway, but this is one of those games that is low-hanging fruit. You're the better team. I don't know if you're the better head coach, but you're the better team. So let's see if the players can overcome the coach and find a way to win, especially for all the fans in Carolina, because you can see that there's a ton of fans out there. All right. I am going to say this game is going to be Miami 27, Carolina 19. All right. 27-19, an 8-point win for the Miami Dolphins on the road against Carolina. All right. We'll be back for the post-game show. David Furones and Chris Perkins will join us fresh from the locker room. I hope you all enjoy the game. I appreciate you all supporting us. Please, man, get us over 100. We're only at 69 likes. Let's go. Easily get us over 100, man. Please smash the hell out of the like button before you go. We'll see you all in the post-game show. And, hey, baby, go Fins.
This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.